Welcome everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend for those of you in the US. We are super excited to have you today to talk the state of the nation for Zen Planner and SugarWOD. If you are just joining us, welcome, and we'd love to get to know our audience. So if you could please share your gym name or studio name, where you're located, how long you guys in business, and what type of training you offer. So we'll like to welcome you guys in the chat. And here we go. Sarah, how's your day going today?
You know what? I'm on my third cup of coffee, so I'm killing it over here.
I love it.
Probably went too hard on the caffeine, but we'll just see where it goes.
I love it. Good. Welcome, Melissa from Kel's Karate Academy. Melissa, where are you guys located? How long have you been in business? If you're just joining us, make sure you publish in the chat where you're located, what the name of your facility is, how long you've been in business, and what type of training you do, so we can welcome you. Melissa's in Baltimore. Awesome. Baltimore's a great city. Shane, my brother, good to see you, man. Welcome. 16 years. Yes, that's awesome. Hi, Angie. Washington Fencing Academy. And oh gosh, Sarah, can you pronounce that name? Issaquah.
Oh.
Is it Issaquah?
I should be able to because I live in Oregon. Issaquah? That's how I would try it. Yeah.
I'm always butchering names, so
I'm probably butchering it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, welcome Steve from CrossFit Pickering in Pickering, Ontario. 17 years. Wow, that's an OG CrossFit gym. I love it. Welcome. Hi, Trudy from Paragon PT and semi-private. Awesome. Welcome. Hey, Chris from Denver Shaolin in Aurora. Been around since 2017. Welcome. Awesome. If you guys are just joining us, I see there's more people joining. We'll get started here in just another minute. But if you're just joining us, share where you're coming from, what type of training you guys do, how long you've been in business. We just like to know who the audience is. So, hi Angie from Chiseled Spirit CrossFit in. Oh, here's another one. Is it Philomath, Oregon?
Philomath is. I don't know. I should
You're
also
in Oregon. You know the names.
Hey, I'm in Angie. I'm in Albany and Salem a lot, so I should swing by sometime. I live in Bend. Philomath? I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly did not know I would get quizzed on how to pronounce things, and I barely speak English, so we'll see how this goes.
All right. 30 years? Wow, that's amazing, Melissa. Congratulations. That's so awesome. Changing probably tens of thousands of people's lives in that time. That's incredible. Yeah. So, hi, Angela from, let's see, Georgian Bay Cancer Support Center in Ontario, Canada. Angela, tell us a little bit about what types of training, and is it physical therapy? What do you guys do? What do you guys do there? That's awesome. Oh, here's another tough one. Hi, Julianne, Livonia, Michigan. Kung Fu and Tai Chi. Oh, gosh, I'm so bad at city names. I'm trying my best. Sorry, y'all. Okay, we're doing a few more welcomes, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Hi, Ella from Heavy Metal Jiu-Jitsu in Northampton, New Hampshire. 7th anniversary this summer. Awesome. That's great. Congratulations. Gorilla Squad CrossFit. That's a cool name. I love that name. In Germany, 8 years. Welcome. What time is it over in Germany? Hartmut. Hey, John. Oh, John. I know John from Denver Shaolin. Welcome. Hi, Adrienne from Cappy's Boxing Gym in Seattle. Over 20 years. Man, we have some veterans on this call. That is incredible. 20 years? Wow. That's awesome. Congratulations. And hi, Kim from Create Wellness Center in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome. Welcome. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know there's still more people joining, but just respectful of everybody's time. Let's get rocking and rolling. This is our State of the Nation. So we're going to talk a lot about what's new with Zen Planner, what's new with SugarWOD, and what we have upcoming, just to get you guys excited. We need your feedback, so we have a couple of questions and polls you're going to see. As we go through the presentation today, you will see things drop in the tab that's called Docs, and then you also see the Q&A tab. So feel free to ask questions as we go. We'll address most of the questions at the end, but we do have some people from our team backstage that will be answering questions live as well. So with that, let's do some introductions. We just did this part, so we'll skip it. But yeah, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're from, your gym name, and how long you've been in business. And then we'll do some quick introductions. Sarah, do you want to start?
Sure. My name is Sarah Sell. I live in Bend, Oregon, which you may have already heard because I mentioned it a second ago. I have not been at Daxco for very long, but I've been in tech for well over a decade. And my specialty really is, trying to make products easier for folks to use. And so that's really what I've been hyper focused on with Zen Planner recently. And I've been able to meet a few of you in person. And so it's been a really cool space to be in. And I thank each of you for what you do every day. I think it's super inspiring. Mike, over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. You've probably seen me on a few of these webinars in the past if you've joined us before. Mike Weiss, I was a 10-year CrossFit affiliate gym. Also run our marketing team here at Zen Planner and SugarWOD. So very passionate about who we serve, but also passionate about who you serve in your local community. So very fortunate I get to spend a couple hours every week with members of the, using Zen Planner Engage. So we'll get to have a lot of great conversations and, provide a lot of feedback to Sarah on how we can make our products better and simpler and easier to use for you all. So thank you all for being here. I know it's hard to cut out an hour of your day. We know you're busy. You got a lot of lives you're changing. So thank you for being here, and we'll go ahead and get right into it. So a little bit about our agenda today. We're going to talk about some new and notable things. So these could be stuff that just come out or came out recently. We're going to talk about a couple key features that we really want to highlight. You may have noticed or may not. And then obviously there's some other things just in case you missed it. We're doing a lot of updates every quarter, every year. So we want to make sure that, different products, services, features, things that really can impact and improve your business, you're aware of those. So, all right, let's check in on new and notable.
All right, I'll take it from here. So this first section is pretty brief, but it's really all about what are new tools and services that we're offering to you. And this first one is all about chat and email support. So we definitely heard you loud and clear. Sometimes issues are not popping up from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And so now our chat and email support is available 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So hit them up at any point. That team is led by Rachel. If you've had an opportunity to engage with her, you will know that she is doing her best to make sure that her team supports you any time of the day. So take advantage of that. And of course, continue to provide feedback on support. We are definitely investing time and effort there to make sure it's meeting you where you need. The next one, we just want to talk a little bit about our success sessions. These are live every single week. They're primarily led by our customer success managers. And how it starts is it's really just a quick 15 to 20 minute training that's hosted by internal experts, people that know our products backward and forward. And then sometimes it'll be focused on how to use the product. And sometimes those are focused on growth strategies, automation tips, ways to connect better with your community and your members. And so it's really 15 or 20 minutes of, pre-planned training. And then of course, our internal experts stick around for Q&A. And so that tends to be much more personalized. And if you raise your hand and have a question, they'll spend time with you walking through it. Those are recorded. So you can go, I think we have the link. We can definitely provide it here, maybe not immediately, but in a few minutes. Basically, you can go to that library of recorded webinars and self-serve if you're not able to make any of the success sessions live. We've been doing these for a little bit of time now, but we've kind of ramped them up recently and are trying to make them more helpful to you. So please do give us feedback on these where we could make them more helpful for you. You can provide that feedback to our support team. You can provide that to in the session itself, but it all does get funneled internally, and we're trying to improve those month over month. There is one more before we go into feature spotlights. There is one more new and notable thing, but we intentionally saved it for the end of the deck, the end of the presentation. Mike will talk about it, but for folks, as a teaser, for folks who have been around Zen Planner for a hot minute, you will be, I think, pleased with what Mike is going to announce. All right. Reminder, as we go into feature spotlights, drop questions in the Q&A. We have moderators. You do not see their faces, but they are on the background. We have our 2 product managers over SugarWOD and Zen Planner, Jordan and Rebecca. We have Holly, our customer success team lead. And between the 3 of them, you are well handled. So drop your questions in the Q&A. They will start to address them as they can via the chat. And then whatever they're not able to get to, Mike and I will be the catch-all at the end. So reminder, drop your questions in the chat. All right. We're going to start with SugarWOD. For SugarWOD fans or those who may be SugarWOD curious, this next set of feature updates is, all about what we've really focused on in the past 6 to 9 months. And we're not highlighting everything. That's a waste of your time. We don't want to do that to you, but we're highlighting kind of the things that we're seeing the most momentum and that are solving the biggest pain points. And so all of these are just focused on helping you drive results and engagement through workout programming. So let's look at the first one. One-off programs. These are now live in SugarWOD. This was born directly from your feedback. If you do not hear anything else leaving today, everything we work on is based on your feedback. And this is a prime example of that. One of our customers said, we quoted him, he said, "I really just need a way to help athletes work on specific skills or movements that are one-off." And so that's exactly what this does. You can now offer focus, kind of short-term programs like a 6-week squat cycle or like a weekend mobility challenge, which I could benefit from, all within just like that same experience that your athletes already have. So it's just a fantastic way to attract new people with kind of like a low commitment offering. They're not signing up for like a 12-week program that's, super intensive. This could just be a short one-off offering. This is all, again, housed in SugarWOD. Easy to activate, should be familiar to anyone already in SugarWOD. If you use it and you have not tried that out yet, please do that. All right, so let's shift over to disable RX and scaled options. So this was actually the #1 most requested feature from our coaches, and it is live. So you can disable RX and scaled options at really the workout component or track level. So if your programming isn't like CrossFit based, or you're focusing on accessory work, recovery, or really just trying to like remove pressure from, competition that may feel unhealthy, you can turn it off. So we heard you. You wanted a way to kind of create the culture that fits your gym, and this is a step towards that. So it's flexible, it's clean, it hopefully helps avoid confusion, and it's really great, particularly for newer members. All right, I'm going to have 2 more slides on SugarWOD, and then we'll phase into some recent Zen Planner feature spotlights. Mobile redesign. If you use SugarWOD, historically or currently. Or again, if you're SugarWOD curious and have seen screenshots, we're giving the app a makeover because it needs it a little bit. We need users need just faster navigation, easier logging, better community interactions, and just a really smooth modern experience. And so when we talk about making things easier to use, we do that so that when you get to a page, you immediately know what action you need to take. You know how you got to that page, you know where you need to go next. Instead of having just a lot visually in front of you, we're trying to simplify that and make it just your lives easier and quicker, right, to get things done. So this has already started. We've already started to roll this out. You'll continue to see this mobile redesign. It's really going to ramp up here in the next couple months, and you'll see bigger changes. We're not taking away any features here. We're just making it easier to use and honestly prettier to look at, which we all want in everyday life. All right. Let's go to our last SugarWOD slide here. So this is just a few coming soon. I talked about how, look, we're doing a lot in SugarWOD. Those 3 ones are like the most recent features that are making, a solid impact, but there's a lot more coming soon. Custom push notifications, easier program checkouts. So that specifically means if a user is going to check out, or a client or a customer or a member is going to check out, instead of it taking 20 taps to do something, they can do that in 10, or they can do that in 7. So we're just making it more likely that they'll spend money on the marketplace, essentially. And then we're also doing a desktop redesign to match the mobile update. So for those more like admins, gym owners, staff that are in the web component a lot, the desktop component, you'll start to see a more modern experience there as well. We've actually already started that a little bit, but it will continue throughout really until we're super up to date. So it'll continue for the foreseeable future. So all of this is really just built around making it easier for you to grow your business, sustain it, engage your members, and just be a solid coach. Okay. I just talked a lot. There will be questions. There will be feedback. There may be consternation. Just drop it all in the chat. We have some solid moderators. All right, let's shift over to Zen Planner. What you're going to start. So if we kind of do a look back on 2024, that has been kind of a rebuilding of the foundation. Behind the scenes, we're modernizing the tech stack. We're trying to improve reliability, really focused on squashing bugs. And we're going to continue that effort, but layering on to that now in 2025, we're really trying to layer in those more impactful updates. So we'll see a few new features, but what the big theme you're going to see is improving the usability and simplifying the product. You should be able to very clearly see the actions you need to take, very clearly know as a business owner, oh, okay, I have these past due payments. I need to work on this immediately. That should be the first thing in your face, right? So we're just surfacing what's more important, reducing the noise so that the signal is more prominent. Okay. I'm going to pause on talking. You're welcome. I'm going to pass it over to Mike. He's going to talk about the first feature that we wanted to, recent feature addition that we wanted to spotlight for Zen Planner.
Thanks, Sarah. All right. So Zen Planner Engage, I hope everybody knows about that as a product that we offer. But most recently, in the last few months, we've been able to launch a multitude of different AI features that really help running your gym, making it easier, simpler. We know that the average gym owner is a single owner operator. They have some coaches, they have some staff. But as a single owner operator, your day may start at 5 a.m. You're doing your coaching, you're cleaning, you're doing sales appointments, following up with emails, making phone calls, trying to find a time to eat. You're just busy. We know that. So we have a multitude of AI features available in the Engage product. The first one I want to call out is called Voice AI. Imagine having somebody able to answer the phone 24/7, represent your brand, really well, and then help the person calling get the answers that they need. So think of this as deploying an AI agent to handle tasks that you may not want to handle, or that maybe you need the first touch point to be someone else than yourself. In my experience, when I owned my gym, I used to get phone calls 8, 9 o'clock at night, sometimes on the weekends. I tried to answer every single call, but if I was coaching a class or trying to do my own workout or maybe cleaning, I didn't have time for that. This is where voice AI can handle that initial touch point. The beautiful thing about this and the feedback we've gotten is they're not limited to talking to the agent. They can actually always at any point connect live to a person if you want that to happen. So completely customizable. You can literally say, hey, I want an agent for member relations. I want an agent for net new people calling the business for the first time. Or we know in a lot of cases we'll get calls from vendors and other people, and we just need to pass that off and not waste our time. So really cool feature, really impactful, and a lot of positive feedback about that. Conversation AI, similar to voice AI, but this is strictly related to think about your web chat widget on the website, your social media profiles, and then when people text your phone line. So, speed to lead is everything. When somebody opts in on your website, they're interested in joining your gym, trying out a class, or just inquiring on more information, conversation AI can act on your behalf and reply and answer those questions for you. And the great thing about both of these two features, they take 2 to 5 minutes to set up. So it's not something you have to learn really deeply. You upload some documentation, have it crawl your website, share some of your training materials that you would train a staff member on, and it will learn all of that, learn your brand, learn your voice, and represent you well. And then there's some ongoing training for a couple of weeks that you just give it feedback as it answers questions, but really easy to deploy, really help you scale your time and really help you impact your community. We have a couple other really great AI features, review AI. So reviews are so important, especially in local gyms. It helps with your Google ranking. It helps when people search for gyms near me or gyms in your area. Having more reviews positions you higher on the search engine. So we have a really great way to, one, automate reviews with all of your members or people that attend your classes, as well as automate the responses to those reviews, which are really important. Think about anytime you are buying a product like a car, or think about something for your household. Typically, you look at the product, you may look around for different pricing, but you always check out the reviews. That's how important those are, and this can really streamline. And one of my favorite features about Reviews AI, you can automatically publish the review to your social channels without you ever having to go to Canva or another tool to make it look pretty. It will automatically do that on your behalf. So really save some time and automation there. Content AI, one of my greatest features, I used to always get writer's block when I was writing content for my gym, whether it was my newsletter or social posts. This makes writing content super easy, super simple. All you have to do is prompt it with just a little bit of info. Hey, we have a fitness competition coming up in 3 weeks. It'll pre-write it for you, add emojis. You can pick the tone and style. It's such a great feature, and it helps you really streamline communication to your members. And then workflows. If you're not familiar with workflows, basically workflows are ways when something happens with a contact in the profile. So let's say a new lead opts in. What do you want to happen? Well, we have hundreds of these already pre-built for you across all different types of facilities and training modalities. But what's really great about this is you can leverage our pre-built stuff, customize it to fit your brand and your gym, as well as the workflow AI will actually suggest next steps in terms of ways to increase engagement or increase conversion rates, et cetera. It's just a really great feature to help you optimize your workflows. So I'm super fired up about Engage AI because I am seeing a lot of impact for our gyms leveraging these tools, really simplifying their operations, but also making a massive impact in their local communities. So.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Let's talk about click to cancel. So in just today's space, there are more security regulations, security rules, compliance regulations that come up all the time. And as a software provider to you, it's our job to keep up to date on those. A lot of those things we just do in the background. We're not constantly saying, hey, we're doing this. You just want to be trusting that we're making sure that you are using software to be compliant with regulations and that your data is secure, right? This is one that we definitely have been talking about because it could impact just the way you run your business and manage your members. So this is click to cancel is a new regulation from the Federal Trade Commission, and it just requires that all membership-based businesses provide an online option for members to cancel. And so we've built a click to cancel tool into Zen Planner. It's in an internal beta right now and will get rolled out to production here in about 2 to 3 weeks. And so what that does is it just allows you to still define your own cancellation policies, and it gives you some customizations in terms of, or configurations in terms of how you want to leverage it. And you can present custom reasons to your members about cancellations, and just really make sure that, you know, your contracts reflect how you do business. And so we recently hosted a webinar to walk through this update. And try to set you up for success. If you missed it, don't worry about it. We will drop the link to that recording in the chat here so that you can review. And if you do have more questions after that, just reach out to our support team. We have a lot of internal subject matter expertise on it. And so we can, while we will not provide legal advice because that's not our role, we can at least offer some guidelines and best practices for rolling this out at your gym. All right. This next one I'm pretty excited about, which is the new staff app. We are in beta as of 2 days from now. We're in internal beta now. We're rolling it out to a subset of customers on Friday, and we'll be launching it to everyone, general availability this summer. This is a pretty significant shift for us and a big upgrade from the previous staff app. If you've used our staff app, you know that it has an outdated UI and can be limiting in terms of some of the feature set. So for this first general availability release, you'll see certainly a more modern UI and not just feature parity with the old staff app, but you'll see a few new features as well, like the ability to add notes on member profiles so that you don't have to go back to your desktop and make notes about a member or some kind of communication. Also, the time clock checking in and out. And then you'll be able to do bulk member check-ins. And so instead of having to check someone in one at a time, it's just a faster way to check folks in. So this is really the first phase of moving a lot more functionality to the app. Things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, maybe you're doing every hour, you should not need to run back to your desk to do that. And I know you don't want to do that. And so we're going to be intentionally building in more functionality into the mobile app or the app so that you can just be on the mat next to a member, scheduling the next appointment, or editing their payment or editing their membership, right? So you can expect a lot more functionality to come to mobile, just so that you don't have to be tied to your desk as much. So with the new staff app, I said it's all getting launched this summer, so just keep an eye out. If you do want early access, please drop us a line. Drop a note here, reach out to the support team. Either way, it'll get funneled to us in product. And we have basically a 3-phased approach. Right now, it's our beta program, which is a very small subset of customers. I'm sure some of you are on the call now. The second one is really early adopters. Those are people who are hand raising, excited to try it out. So if you're part of that group, please hand raise, drop us a line. All right. Questions, I'm sure, about that, drop them in the chat.
Yeah, lots of stuff coming in on that. So we'll cover that towards the end of the
Love it. Cool. I'm excited. All right, usability updates. So I talked at the beginning about, hey, my background is not necessarily in, health and wellness, but I do have a strong background in tech and making tools simpler and prettier and easier to use. So we are, Zen Planner needs that, right? We know that. No matter how long you've been using a Zen Planner, for 2 days or 10 years, and there are a lot of you who have been using it for 10 years, it's time for a little bit of an upgrade, right? So we started rolling out some small but meaningful improvements to the ZP interface. And so we're really focused on the areas that you have to touch on a very regular basis and that drive a lot of frustration and confusion. So a very small, recent example is we updated the terminology from drop membership to cancel membership. That was actually a really big ticket driver in support. People were like, how do I cancel a membership? Well, it's actually drop membership, right? And so just aligning more in terms of what the majority of the industry is saying. That's just a really kind of quick example, but you'll start to see that more and more as the months go on. We're really focused on membership and billing at first and simplifying that. And that's because you have to manage memberships and their billing all the time, like every single day. You're turning on and off auto pay. You're making sure that people are not past due. You're trying to change the membership that they're tied to. You're trying to change when their bill date is. And that is not as simple as it should be. So we are working on making this experience way more intuitive and less prone to user error, just so that you don't have to spend time clicking around and guessing where to make the change. So you'll start to see those changes in the web app, the desktop, and then we'll also be addressing it to my earlier point about being more mobile first. We'll be addressing those membership and billing issues in the mobile site as well. Okay, the last thing on here is a new feature that we'll be rolling out called favoriting. So this is the idea that if you're always jumping to one page or one report, or you can never remember where that one profile is or where that one report is, you can just favorite that page. And so at any point you can say, yep, let's favorite it. And then you can easily from the nav bar select your favorite, the little star icon. You can select that drop down and navigate there quickly. This just is, a lot of people care about different pages and different reports and different things. So this is just a way to give you a little bit of customization and access what you need really quickly. All right, let's move on to performance. This is a hot topic and should be, and is understandably where we need to be focusing our time. So we are actively addressing performance concerns. We actually started with a heavier lift on SugarWOD. The chart on the right is really just highlighting some improvements that we've already delivered there. A dramatic drop in load page times. So that was really a lot of targeted backend work. And the result has been just a much more fast and reliable experience. So we've seen some faster page load times and a significant drop in complaints with performance in SugarWOD. We are taking that same approach and applying it to ZP. So we've already started that. We are hyper focused on the pages that drive the most traffic. So if you are going to load the dashboard for the first time that day, it takes a while to spin up. If you are trying to check a bunch of people in on a Monday night, we know that's the peak time, right? And so we are first targeting those areas so that you are less impacted. This is a year-long effort, and we have a good number of developers focused on this. And so just know we hear you. We are actively addressing this, and I fully recognize that if the app is not performant, that's just as important as not having the features that you want or need. All right. We're almost there, you guys. Thank you for listening to me. I know that's not the most fun way to spend your day, but I hope some of these are resonating with you. Dashboard enhancements. This topic comes up fairly regularly, particularly for newer customers, but even longer term. So there's a lot of noise on the dashboard. What should I even pay attention to as a business owner? What should I pay attention to as a staff member? Quote unquote, the dashboard looks outdated. I agree with you. I think most people agree with you. A good dashboard should do more than just show you a lot of numbers. We are strong, generally very strong in our reporting, and we give you a lot of data at your fingertips. We, though, could do better at reducing the noise so you find the signal easier. So we are working on a new design that focuses on just that, clarifying what is most important for your day and providing quicker actions from the dashboard. At a glance indicators, cleaner visuals, really just cleaning it up so that you know what to do and can do it quickly. So I actually have a call to action here. We do want your input. On the right side, it's just if you've heard of a low fidelity mockup, right? It's just a directional design, like where we're headed directionally. And we would love your feedback. So here on the screen in a moment, you should see a link pop up. And it just takes a couple of minutes. This helps us make sure that the dashboard is truly working for you. So we presented a couple of high-level design options, and we would just love to hear which one you prefer. And if you'd like, we've been interviewing a lot of customers about this already and iterating on the designs. If you want to throw your voice in the mix, please do. There will be an opportunity at the end of that survey to ask your email address and if you're willing to be contacted. So please click on that. We'd love your thoughts there. All right. I'm going to end on, oh, wow, that's like the ESPN ticker. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, Sarah, let me jump in real quick. Yeah. There's not only the survey link, but we also have a poll question. So if you see the little pop-up for the poll, please vote on that as well. Any of those votes, we'll get that your contact information from that as well. So.
Okay, so the poll goes directly to the next slide, and that will be my last slide, and you won't have to continue hearing me talk. These are the areas that we're exploring. Everything else we've talked about today is either already in production, about to be released, or is solidly on the roadmap and is happening. And so I want to shift gears and just briefly talk about the areas we may be focusing on soon and how you can help shape it. So any features, I just want to state, any features that are not yet in production, they may evolve, or in some cases, they may not make it to production at all. And so what you hear about or see during this research and development process might change just really based on your feedback and our testing of the feature and the designs. And so we don't want to release anything unless it's going to make your lives better. So with that said, these are the 3 areas we're actively exploring, and we'd love to learn more from you about what's working, what's not working, where we might be able to change based on, what we might be able to improve, right? So the first is calendar and appointments. We know that it feels clunky across just staff members, gym owners, staff, gym owners, and even the members, right? And so we're looking at ways to just make it more intuitive, much more of a modern experience, right? To make your lives easier. The second one is around our SugarWOD and Zen Planner integration. We know some of you use both tools. We know some of you could benefit from SugarWOD, but don't have it today. We really just want to make that experience feel more connected. They're going to look like siblings. They're going to talk like siblings. That's the direction we're headed. But what we'd like for your feedback on is where to start. So that's the second one. And the final one is just AI. I know that's a really big bucket. We've introduced a few AI features through Engage. We have the AI chatbot as a front line before hitting support. But we know that is just the tip of the iceberg. And we do not want to do a Band-Aid AI solution, right? You've seen products out there where it's this isn't even helpful or whatever it is. We want to take a very, strategic approach to focusing on things that are going to help you immediately. So you'll see the poll pop up. choose an area that you're interested in sharing feedback about. If you're open to a quick follow-up, we'd love to learn just from your experience. And if you do select one of those, then a member of our product team will be reaching out to you. And scene.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, we're going to spend the next couple of minutes just talking about a few things. So make sure everyone is aware of opportunities that are available to you to help grow your business. So some refreshing on our current tool sets, services that are making a big impact. Just want to cover all of these real quickly, and then we'll get to the Q&A session in just about 5 minutes. So we want to leave about 15 minutes available for some dialogue around questions that you may have. So let's get rocking and rolling to this. Obviously, we talked about SugarWOD and Zen Planner integration. If you're using both products and you're not using the integration, this is such a great member experience. We know the average person in SugarWOD is opening the app multiple times a day. They're engaging with the 5 a.m. class, the noon class, the evening classes. They're checking people's scores. They're commenting, fist bumping, dropping little gifts in the chat. They're just engaging a lot on that app, and it's such a great way to bring your community, out of the gym to more online and engage all the time. The integration is so great, though. It allows people to one, keep your members synced between both platforms, which is really nice to have. But two, you can actually book and reserve classes directly in the SugarWOD app. And that's where your members are spending most of their time. So if you're not using the integration, highly, highly recommend it. It's such a great experience. My members at my gym absolutely loved it. They spent the majority of their time in SugarWOD every day. So great integration. Check it out. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about flex fees over approximately the last 12 months. But as we talk to members of the Zen Planner community, not a lot of people are taking advantage of it quite yet. So we have some good examples. If you head to our website, you can check out the case studies area to learn from gyms of all different shapes, sizes, all over the country that are leveraging flex fees to, one, increase revenue, but also reduce some costs when it comes to your transaction fees. So transaction fees is just a normal part of running a business, taking credit cards and debit cards. But this is just a really good example of how flex fees can really cover additional revenue from those transactions. This is pretty common practice across a lot of industries. You go to restaurants, you're going to see, hey, if you use a card, there's a 3% upcharge. If you use other types of businesses, you're going to see this is pretty standard practice. We don't see it a lot in the gym space. However, more and more people are adopting this, and we have this now available across majority of the U.S. except for states where there's local laws on this. So if you haven't checked out flex fees, we have some pages on the website that talk about some blog posts and content around gyms who have implemented this and how it's impacted their business. Otherwise, reach out to our account management team. We'd be happy to walk you through and run the use case for your facility. I just want to shout out the branded app. The branded app is such a great experience for your members. The one thing I love about the branded app is it shows your logo typically on their home screen every single day. So for such a small investment, your brand gets to be shown where people interact. I don't know how many times somebody opens their phone in a day, but imagine them seeing your brand every single time. It's just a constant reminder of the great things that you do. And it really levels up, I think, the perception of your business to your members. Wow, this company has their own app. My gym has their own app. That's really neat. That's an actual special experience, and your brand is shown over and over again. So if you haven't checked that out, once again, it's a really great option for you. Okay, so this is one of the secret sauces in terms of, I think I would have loved to have used when I had my gym: revenue recovery services. So every month we're always chasing cards that decline. Every month we're chasing cards that expire. Every single month we may have a member that just ghost, and then all of a sudden their payment stops and we haven't gotten them back in the gym. I average around 10, 12 grand a year in unpaid dues at my facility. Over 10 years, that's a lot of money, right? So we actually have a team that works on behalf of the gym. They learn your brand, they learn your messages, how you treat your members, and they have something like a 92% recovery rate on any failed payments at your gym, and you can completely outsource this to our internal team that handles this. And you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? If I knew this existed when I started my gym, it would probably have been the first thing that I turned on. Once I realized like the amount of time I chase people trying to get them to pay their bill or update their card, why not let somebody handle that for you? So really just an extension of your team. They also do some really creative ways to recover those payments with emails, retrying the card, etc. But it's all driven by a team that's really an extension of you. Digital marketing. So, one of the most asked question I get is, how do I get more leads to my business? I get that question every single week. You have things like SEO, you have things like social media, you have partnerships, you have referrals and affiliates. You also, can get really overwhelmed when it comes to how do I effectively advertise in our business. So we have a lot of different opportunities. If you're using the Engage product, we have an ad manager directly built in that connects to Google and Facebook. It kind of guides you really simply on how to put ads in market and measure their performance. But if you're kind of unsure, you've never really done it before, you don't know how to get a good return on your ad spend, we do have a team that can work on your behalf and run your ads for you. So it's a pretty good service that we offer. It's a really impactful way to drive more leads to your business. And so there's times of the year where you may want to run digital marketing for 2 or 3 months when you're, your slow time. It's also a really good time coming in summer. It was always slow time for my gym, as well as think about the new year, getting ready for that influx that comes in. So you want your brand to be out there. So we offer a number of services that are incredibly affordable and great way to get some new members into your gym. The last thing I want to share is our affiliate program. So if you've ever referred somebody to Zen Planner, you may notice that little link in the navigation. You can refer somebody, we pay you, I think it was $100 or $200 for the referral. We really, really appreciate those. But coming into this year, we said, hey, how can we really level up and reward those referrals from our community, right? So we launched our new affiliate program. And what's great about this is every gym or studio that you refer, you can earn up to $835 per referral, right? So it's super easy to sign up. If you click the link that says docs above the chat, there's a link to learn all about the affiliate program. But you'll get a unique code. You'll get some resources on how you can share and talk about it. But you're really sharing the great things that you're doing in Zen Planner with your peers, and a great way to be rewarded for sharing, our platforms and how they can help gyms grow. So, what's amazing about this? There's no caps. It's unlimited. So, it's a nice way to earn a vacation every single year. And I know how hard you all work. I remember those days. If make a little extra income on the side just to help out with things, it's always great. So check out the affiliate program. It's new for this year, and we're trying to build a lot of excitement for it. All right, one last thing, and then we'll jump into Q&A because I know we got about 10 minutes left. If you've been around for a long time, you may have heard of Zen Academy that we used to do way back right around 2019, 2020, 2021. We did a lot of in-person Zen Academies. So we are bringing that, or we have brought that back digitally. So if you use the Engage products, you may see the link for Zen Academy. You're going to start to see more Zen Academy content come out across both of our platforms. So you'll start to see it inside of Zen Planner Studio. But this is online training, digital training we have playbooks around growing your gym, improving retention, how-to videos on different features in the platform to get the most value. I'm working with one of our internal teams right now. We're working on a Zen Planner 101 and a Zen Planner 201 for training new staff members. So that's been something that's been requested. So we're building that. We also are bringing in partners from the industry to give master classes on the areas they're experts in. We also have workflows, templates, reporting. The AI agents that I was showing off earlier today, we have courses for each of those, how to set them up, how to maximize or optimize them. And our goal is to produce content every single month that's really going to make it easier for you to drive impact in your business, right? Grow your business, improve your retention, professionalize everything. So really excited about this. There's been a lot of effort and work into it. We don't have all the answers, but we know a lot of people that do. And so we're going to be bringing all that content in. So expect some more announcements coming around in the next month or so. And if you're interested in signing up, you can go to academy.zenplanner.com, get signed up today and get access to all of our courses that we have as of right now. So that's all I wanted to cover. I know we have about 9 minutes left and want to be respectful of the rest of our time. So Sarah and I are going to jump into Q&A. So feel free to drop those questions in the chat, and then we're going to head over to the Q&A section and walk through it. So
yeah, if you drop questions in, try to use the Q&A tab on the right. I know we keep saying drop it in the chat, but we just mean the Q&A would be helpful to manage all of those, because then we can quickly see what's not been answered.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah, I'll go ahead and read the questions and one of us can answer. So we had a question about RX and scale adoption. I think Jordan did a good answer there, so we'll skip that one. Will you guys make it easier to put in and save movement videos in Sure, or like saving? So do you have any insights to that? I know Jordan replied.
I think we should probably prioritize the one. Jordan's going to have your best answer because he's the senior product manager for that product. So there's probably not much I would add to his answer.
Okay.
It might be good to start with the ones that don't have answers yet, which it looks like a lot have been addressed by the moderators. Let's see, John asks, so is content AI basically replacing the old campaign marketplace?
Yep, I can address that one. Yeah, so content AI is really just a writing assistant. It helps you write emails, blog, website copy, social posts. It's really that assistant. Like a lot of people go to ChatGPT to get inspired. We have it directly in the platform, so it makes it super easy to write or improve your writing. If you write something like, hey, I want to make this more fun, or I want to make it shorter or longer, it can assist in that. It also can do grammar and punctuation, which is something I desperately need. So, okay. There was a question. I think Holly answered it, but Melissa, you had a question about flat fee and percentage. I just want to make sure we answer that because I'm trying to recall when that question came in during the presentation. I think if Holly answered it, then we'll move forward. But if we have any more clarity, just drop it in the chat, and we're happy to cover that. So, all right, lots of questions, Sarah. A lot of people want to do the beta.
I know, that's so good. Yeah. Let's see. And John added more clarity to his automations data engage in Studio Sync. So primarily around membership dates and attendance. So being able to track automated and automate reminders for ending memberships or reach out to people who haven't been attending. Okay. So really wanting to be able to do that easier because right now the experience is not smooth. So in short, yes, we are adding more data to the sync between Engage and Zen Planner. That effort is going on right now. We're first focused on attendance data. Let's see. Tara said, we have programming from Marketplace. Are we able to get a leaderboard that would include worldwide results to the same workout? So that's probably a good one for Jordan to address. And David had more questions on the RX scaled option. So we have 4 levels. Okay, so he's needing more flexibility in that feature. Okay. I would love to hear David more about that, and curious if other customers identify with David's needs there. Because in short, anything is possible. It's just a matter of solving the right problems at the right time. So yes, please give more. All right. I don't see any other missed questions.
I think one just came through the chat. Any makeup feature in Studio for membership set to 1 or 2 times a week?
Set to 1, 2 times. A makeup feature in Studio. Maybe a moderator has an opinion on that one, but I'm trying to see if I'm how to interpret it.
My interpretation is if you have like a once a week membership, they miss a day 1 week, can they make that day up, like come twice the next week?
Got it. Okay. Not currently in the plans. I'm not sure if there's a solid workaround available today, but I would certainly, yeah, you got it right. Cool. I would certainly like to hear more for sure there.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think I don't see anything new. Question. So just a quick reminder, check out the docs link. There's some links from the stuff we talked today. Oh, Rebecca just dropped the survey link again. And then, one more question from Guy. He says, could we make the calendar sync to website and Zen Planner both the events and classes?
Is that available today? Do you know, Mike?
Calendar sync to website and Zen Planner, both the events and classes. I'm not super familiar with that. Holly might be able to answer that. I know she's in the.
Yeah, she's moderating. If not, we will follow up. We'll go through all of the chat and the Q&A again, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. But yes, we will follow up, Guy, if Holly's not sure.
Cool. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, we are just about at time. We'll get you guys out here a couple minutes early. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. We do these twice a year, these kind of big ones. I know Sarah and our customer success team were talking about potentially doing another session pretty soon. So, reach out to us anytime. I dropped my email in the chat earlier, so if you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and we will see you all soon.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Mike. Bye.